Ladies and gentlemen, our second guest for tonight. Not only is he a second-generation wrestler, but he is the high-flying, death-defying, incredibly awesome junior heavyweight, ROH star, former American Tiger, but now goes by his actual moniker, second-generation wrestler. This guy comes from championship stock. His father is a former world heavyweight champion, is also an ROH star, has worked for ROH, TNA, WCW, WWE, has been to Japan probably more times than anybody else, any other American in the history of wrestling. But I'm talking about his son, the one and only Colby Corino. Colby, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Will? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you. First of all, thank you for being on the show at the last second, man. You have no idea how much. You have no idea how much you're helping me out right now, man. and just like Joe, I think that you also have an amazing story that needs to be put out there and stuff, man. And of course, I want to get I want people to see a different side of Colby. What do you think?
Sorry, what was that? The last part?
I want people to see a different side of Colby Corino that they don't usually see on TV and at the shows and stuff. What do you think?
All right, I like that idea.
Yeah. First of all, let's get a brief synopsis of how long you've been in the business, who trained you. Obviously, we're going to say that your dad is your inspiration for being a wrestler. But if he's not, then tell us who is.
Yeah, actually, my dad never trained me. Mike Keener, the old ECW rep, is the one who did most of my training. And then I had a lot of help from Brutal Bob. So. Are you serious? Yeah. My dad never stepped in the ring with me except to tag, and now we wrestle around now, but that beginning is all other people. Growing up as a second generation wrestler, and of course, with your dad traveling as much as possible and stuff, man. How was it growing up as a child of somebody, in my opinion, who was very well known and respected in the wrestling business? I have no idea what it's like to just grow up, I guess, normally, but it's just my dad being and traveling everywhere and always going somewhere else. It's what's normal to me. I'm used to it at this point.
I don't know, when you first got into the business and stuff, man, when you read, I'm assuming, because when I first met you was American Tiger and stuff, and I couldn't figure out, why you didn't just take the mask off and go by your name, and just show everybody what you look like, because let's just be honest, and not being gay or whatever, you're a very good-looking guy and stuff, and of course, good-looking guys like you, man, are just built for this business. What was the point of being American Tiger at first?
I wanted to, separate Colby Corino from Steve Corino. I wanted to be my own image instead of just, piggybacking off of him. So I wanted to build, my own little, repertoire and library of work before I took off the mask and was Colby Corino.
I think that you're probably, one of the first, you're one of the few guys that I know of personally that was famous in wrestling before he even actually got into wrestling. I remember your dad telling stories about how, being in Japan and stuff, and there was Japanese fans wanting your autograph and stuff when you were a kid.
Yeah, that was crazy to me. I bumped Tanaka and Otani at 6 years old, and the Japanese fans just loved it. They ate it up.
Now, growing up, being around especially so many great Japanese wrestlers and stuff, did you kind of pattern your style after a lot of the great Japanese cruiserweights like Liger and Tanahashi and stuff, or do you?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of inspiration from those older junior heavyweight guys like Liger and Otani and Tanaka. They're big inspirations for me.
Now, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to word this and stuff, because you're not, and people see you and stuff on the shows and stuff, man, and you're not the biggest person in the world and stuff. And especially, you got some pretty brutal matches on ROH and stuff against guys who are so much bigger than you and everything. Did you feel like, you have to have these big brutal matches to take these huge punishing moves and stuff from guys to get respect from the boys?
Did you, a lot of times guys feel like, oh, you're a second generation wrestler, your dad works for the company and stuff, you got in because of your name or whatever. Do you feel that's your way of proving to guys that, hey, I'm one of the boys?
I think definitely that's what got me more of the respect as my own wrestler, because I probably didn't have to take any of those big moves that I did, but I wanted to, and I felt like it helped everyone else build respect for me as an actual worker instead of just using my dad's name to.
Oh yeah, like I said, because I know I personally told you, like, Colby, like, man, save your bumps, man. Like, yo, quit taking these huge bumps from guys. Like, you don't have to. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, the one match that we've had, I was so hesitant. Like, look, Colby, we got to take all that. We don't have to do all that. Man, let's just take it easy and let's just tell a story. And you were so adamant about, no. I want to take this. I want to take that. What is it about professional wrestling and being in the ring that gets you going, man? Is it taking these huge bumps? Is it, having the crowd cheer for you or boo for you, whether you're a babyface or a heel? What is it, man?
Like, I grew up, I went to my first ECW show at 2 weeks old, so I saw all these guys innovating and doing this hardcore style and, like, just doing something different for business and just, like, just being different and being innovative and having a brutal style. And I just kind of wanted to take that and I wanted to bring it into 2016, into the new age, and kind of build on that and be different and still, like, no matter what show I'm at, I want someone who's paying a ticket to be like, oh, Colby Corino's on this show. This is going to be a great match.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. So you without all the weapons and stuff, you think that your style is more of the high-flying, big risk-taking style that ECW made famous?
I think everything has to evolve eventually. And maybe, like, down the line I won't do as much high-flying stuff, but I think it all is just natural progression. For right now, that's what's in, and that's what I'm doing, and it's working.
Now let's talk about you right now, man, because obviously you're working with ROH, but we can still see you in a lot of these indie shows and stuff. You're not one of those guys who's like, oh, I'm a second generation wrestler. I'm gonna take my stuff down to Florida and stuff and see if I can get a contract. Like, you're actually hitting the highways, man, and doing the shows and putting in the windshield time. Was that because of, your dad gave you advice, or some other veterans said, hey, Colby, go get some experience on the road and stuff and get yourself over? Or is this something that you love to do? Do you love hitting the roads and traveling and stuff?
This is something I want to do. Like, I like traveling. I like booking all these shows and having ridiculous weekends where at the end I'm dying, but it's all worth it to me because I want to get out there and I want to show everyone what I can do. I don't just want to go to Florida or Connecticut or whatever and just get signed and get beat up by bigger dudes. I want to have a name, and if I do end up going somewhere bigger, I want to, like, go in there with a bang and just don't want to be another guy getting signed.
I'm telling you, man, you're probably one of the most humblest second-generation wrestlers I've ever met. I've met several. And like I said, usually, guys, they want to go ahead and go for the big money and stuff. Like I said, you're hitting the highways and everything, man. Besides the traveling and stuff, and of course having the great matches, the 20, 30-minute matches that you can have that you want to, what else do you think that you're learning that you wouldn't learn in Florida, or if you went down there and worked for TNA or whatever?
I think I'm learning, like, what it's like to have a toll on the body, and, like, I'm learning from all different guys. Like, I get to travel to Tennessee, and I just got back from Pennsylvania last weekend, and just being around in different locker rooms and seeing different veterans and getting advice from everybody, like, that's so great to me.
Now, of course, people see you on the ROH and stuff, man. They see that, you was with Adam Page at one time. He was your mentor, kind of, and stuff. But what a lot of people don't know is that, you're the head trainer for CWA, which is the school for Premier Wrestling Federation down in Charlotte, North Carolina and stuff, and just passing on your wisdom to guys who don't have as much experience as you. How do you feel about that? How's that going for you, man?
I love helping out training and stuff because it helps. I feel like if I could teach something, it helps me grasp the subject better. So I feel like helping out these other guys and showing them what I've learned and bring to the table what people have showed me. It makes me it helps me improve, I feel.
You know, I've seen you. Man, you got so much better. The first time I've seen you as American Tiger and stuff. And I want to say it was for NASW in that little small rinky-dink armor. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I do. I wrestled Raven Havoc that night.
Yeah. But to now, you know, you're working with guys like Adam Page, Corey Hollis. You know, you're in all ways against guys like Moose and all these guys. You had a fantastic matches. Well, not only them, but guys, you know, at PWF, you and Cedric Alexander, Jesus Christ, Kev, when it's available to the public, you gotta watch his match with Cedric Alexander. Colby, you know, is more than just, you're more than just a high flyer, man. Like, you can get down there and throw the big shots when you have to, man. And that match was definitely, in my opinion, one of the best matches of the year so far.
Oh, thank you. I try to do a lot of different stuff. Like, if you watch my match with Jay Newman, which is pretty good, I don't do a lot of high flying stuff in that. Like, it's all real technical and slow and methodical. I like to wrestle different styles.
Now being smaller guy and stuff, man, you know, you say you wrestle 3 different styles. You know, I watched your match with Cedric Alexander, who's a very fast-paced, high-impact kind of guy. And then, you know, you turn around and you work with somebody like Fred Yehi, who is a total machine. Technical wrestling is just a total machine that can go for, you know, 60 minutes flat on the mat. What's the different mindsets you got to take when you're going into these different types of matches, man?
Like, it depends on who I'm working. I do my research on everybody, and I had a lot of amateur wrestling experience. I think I wrestled for like 10 years in school, and like I ended up in the state tournaments and stuff, so I was okay. So it's kind of like when I'm gearing up for a match with like Fred Yehi, it's different than if I'm gearing up for like someone I need to bring the high flying to. Like, I know I'm going to be going in because Fred Yehi is also an amateur wrestler, so I knew that going in. So I figured it'd be a more on the mat bout, more technical.
Now, right now, you know, you made your name as a singles wrestler and stuff, man, and I got to bring it up. You're part of this group called the Ugly Ducklings, man. I love the name. I love the guys that's in it. You, Rob Killjoy, and Lance Mood, who was a former All-Rage competitor and stuff, man, and in my opinion is one of the best super light cruiserweights in professional wrestling, period. How did that come about?
We actually got put together in like a random 6-man tag at PWX this February, and like during the match, I guess all our personalities just clicked really well, and the fans saw that, and they saw how much fun we were having in the ring, and I think it was like infectious, and everyone started getting it. And then we had a 6-man ladder match, which was like me. It was me versus Killjoy versus Lude versus Smith Garrett versus Chip Black and versus Mason Maddox. And we came out. We weren't wrestling as separate wrestlers. We were wrestling as a team, as the Ugly Ducklings. We were trying to win for each other. And I think like the fans thought that was different, and they loved it. So you'll definitely be seeing the Ugly Ducklings a lot more everywhere, hopefully.
I was gonna say, like, you think that you guys are gonna take this on the road and, you know, take it up to Chikara. You know, they had the King of Trio title, and then FIP, you know, they just had their 3-man tag team tournament stuff where Team IOU and they actually ended up winning. Are we gonna actually see more of, you know, the Ugly Ducklings as a unit from show to show to show?
Yes, we are. We are actually entered into the PWF 6-man tag tournament, and we already have like dates with quite a few companies coming up in the spring. So the Ugly Ducklings are definitely coming to a pond near you wherever you're listening. And if they're not, get on social media, hashtag us, and tell your promotion why you want us there.
Exactly, man. Like I said, I love all 3 of you guys, man. And the funny thing about it is that all 3 of you are 3 totally different styles of wrestlers, 3 totally different types of wrestlers. But for some reason, it just makes so much sense when you see you 3 together in a team. It's like, yeah, I can definitely see those 3, you know, and I can see those guys winning. As you know, and I hate to say it, but you guys, you know, you all have the perennial underdog look, where it's like, okay, these guys might not, these guys shouldn't win, but for some strange reason, I have a feeling that they're going to come out on top.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of experience. We probably have almost 30 years of experience between the 3 of us, because I know they've been working for a long, long time. And I'm really happy for that, like, them to be getting the recognition more so than my name getting out there. Especially like Killjoy, who's busting his ass every weekend at 4 shows, 5 shows, and Lude, who had that little run in ROH but never like really made it big elsewhere. So I'm really glad they're getting the recognition they deserve.
Now I'm gonna go back to PWX and a lot of the shows that you're doing now and stuff, man. What do you have coming up, bro? Where can we see Colby Corino at?
This Saturday, April 2nd, I will be in Norfolk, Virginia for VCW, and then next week we have the double shot in Hubert, North Carolina on Friday, and then Camp Lejeune on Saturday, where me and Joe Black are taking on Jason Cade and Adam Page, and then the day after it's going to be Black and Adam Cole and me versus Cade singles. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Oh man, that's the weekend. Those are the matches I'm really looking forward to. In the upcoming weeks is seeing you versus Jason Kincaid, who, in my opinion, I love Joe, but let's just be honest, Jason Kincaid is probably the best unsigned talent right now. This guy is so hot. Trips to Mexico, trips to Canada. The Top Prospect Tournament, which he was also a part of. Are you nervous working against Jason Kincaid with a guy of his caliber?
I first saw him at the Top Prospect Tournament, and we both got eliminated in the first round, so we never got to meet. But ever since I saw that match, I was bugging my dad to bring him into to PWS because I wanted to test myself. I want to see if I could hang with someone like that. He's amazing. I've been seeing him all over now, and I'm watching all his matches, all his promos. He's incredible.
Oh yeah. You've been around wrestling your whole life. You've been wrestling, amateur, professional. Let's say for the better part of 15, almost 20 years, man. Let's just be honest. You're almost a wrestling vet. You can almost be considered a vet. What do you think?
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
I'll say that, you can be considered a vet, man. I mean, you've been around professional wrestling your entire life. And unlike a lot of second-generation wrestlers, you've been there watching, you've been traveling, you've met these guys. Unlike a lot of guys, you're very smart. You pay attention to a lot of things. Most guys, I don't think a lot of guys in the locker room realize how much you pay attention to what's going on around you and to what other guys are saying when they're talking about putting together their matches and stuff. And you always give great advice. You can almost would you consider yourself a vet right now, or do you think you still have so much more to learn?
Oh, yeah, I still have so much to learn. Because I don't want to settle on being as good as I am right now at 19. I want to be a lot better when I'm 20 and 21 and 22. And I want to be the best in the world. So there's always more I can learn from everybody. There's never enough knowledge.
That's a pretty bold statement to make, to say that you want to be the best in the world.
Yeah, everyone says it, but it's what you have to shoot for. I think I don't think you should shoot for less than that.
You're right about that. Colby, I'm about to get ready to let you go and stuff, but before I let you go, I need you to not only to give out all your social media for not only Colby Corino, but also for the Ugly Ducklings as well, man.
Thank you.
So what's your social media, man?
Oh, my social media?
Your social media.
You follow me on Twitter at Generation_Ace. Find me on Facebook at Colby Corino. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees/Colby Corino. Buy a few dozen T-shirts, please. And when you see me at shows, come up, say hi, grab a picture, grab a T-shirt, take a picture.
What about the Ugly Ducklings? They just don't have any social media. They just have the hashtag Ugly
Oh, yeah,
Ducklings.
we do. I forgot all about that. We just made that. We have a Twitter now at 3MotherDuckers. That's the official Twitter for the Ugly Ducklings. And
what is it again? Hold on. What is it again?
At 3MotherDuckers.
Oh, man. Hey, speaking of that, hold on, Trav, this is something that you would like. So, Colby, tell me about this infamous tweet that was noticed by the Young Bucks, man.
Oh, yeah. We're shooting for a match with the Elite, and we're trying to get noticed. So we've been spicing it up on social media, trying to get their attention. It seems to be working. Hopefully they don't super kick me at the next ROH show.
I'm going to tell you like that. So Maybe, because, they're throwing shots at the New Day. So maybe we could see an Ugly Duckling Elite New Day match, maybe?
Oh, that would be great. I'm definitely the Xavier of the group. Maybe.
What?
I'm the Xavier of the Ugly Duckling.
So who's Big E then?
Rob. He does all the power moves. So I guess that leaves Lance as being Kofi by default.
I'll have to tell him that next time I see him. Like, hey, what's up, Kofi? So, man, he's going to dread his hair up and stuff, man. Oh, he's so great. Well, look, hey, Colby, thank you for being a guest on the show, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, no problem, man. I will catch you later on. Hopefully I'll see you this week. If not, I'm definitely going to see you next week. You guys over there, not only just you, but your dad, the legendary Steve Corino, has done something that a lot of wrestling promoters talk about and very few have ever done as far as putting together a wrestling show on top of an actual military base. And this will probably be, correct me if I'm wrong, this is going to be like the first wrestling show on a military base that's not WWE affiliated. Am I correct?
I think it's like the first one in like 15 years, but I might need to fact check that. That's just what I've been told.
Oh, that's so awesome, man! Man, I can't wait. Like I said, I definitely know that you and Kincaid are definitely going to tear down the house and stuff. Of course, everybody's looking to see Joe Black versus Adam Cole and stuff, man. But you guys are going to tear down the house also, so they're gonna have a huge match to fill. Hopefully, I'm like the first or second match, so I can just like sit back and watch and enjoy the rest of the show.
Oh, that's my spot. That's what I'm hoping for.
But thanks for being on the show, man. I'll catch you later. All right.
All right. Have a nice night.
You too, man. See you well. All right, Kev.
What a good interview.
Oh, man. I think I got 2 great interviews tonight, man.
And you did it all by yourself.
All by myself. Like, ladies and gentlemen, all by myself. 2 great interviews. 2 totally, completely different interviews. 2 totally, completely different types of wrestlers. One guy, Joe Black, 135 pounds, no connections to wrestling whatsoever. And look to where he is, to where he's traveling all up and down the highways. Me and him are traveling up and down the highways every weekend. And then you have, in the second half hour, second generation Colby Corino, ROH star. But not only that, he's a star in Japan and really has never wrestled in Japan yet, and people already know who he is. But completely humble. Both of these guys haven't even reached the pinnacle of what they're going to succeed. They're still very young, and not only in age, but also in wrestling, man. So it's going to be pretty amazing to watch where these guys take off in the next couple of years. And luckily we had both of them on the Undisputed Wrestling show and stuff before they got all famous.
There you go. And I'm sure that you're going to bring them back in the future, right? Of
course. How else is Joe going to get to shows and stuff, man? Jesus Christ. I know where Kobe lives at. I know he sleeps. I just threaten him.
Damn, that's kind of sounded stalkerish.
Hey. You call it stalkerish. You call it stalking. I call it extreme shadowing. Okay. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. For all our listeners and stuff, like I said, once again, this is the Undisputed Wrestling Show. I am the host for tonight, but I'm one of several great hosts and stuff that this show has. This weekend, you can find me at WBCW, where I had a shot against for the WBCW Heavyweight Championship against Drake Tungsten, somebody who I have known about and I've been dying to step in the ring with for the better part of 9 years. When I first got into professional wrestling, Drake Tungsten was hitting the highways along with Lewis Moore and Jimmy Love and Scrapyard Dog and a lot of other North Carolina local indie, I guess you call them legends where I'm from, because everybody knows these guys where I live at. So I finally get my chance to actually step in the ring with somebody of his caliber. And that'll be in Princeton, West Virginia. It's also my anniversary. It's my 2nd year anniversary this weekend. So my wife, Mrs. Huckabee, Mrs. Morningstar, will be right there with me. Hopefully she'll be congratulating me in victory, or if not, she'll be consoling me in defeat.
Hey, Will, before we get out of here, just wanted to give a few plugs real quick. Our scheduled first hour interview for tonight was supposed to be former AWA, WCW pro wrestling announcer Chris Cruz. Unfortunately, we were not able to get him onto the show this week due to technical difficulties on our end, so we will get him rescheduled in the near future.